Well, hello all, greetings, this is Gilles Mancillon. I wanted to come and say hello, to pull out 3 cards to look for, if we're looking for guidance, 3 cards from 3 different decks. Maybe I thought it was before it changed. So in terms of the highest wisdom, we have the Master Guide. The Master Guide is the guide of the spiritual path, but the spiritual path is not different than the material path, for all is one. And therefore, as we integrate this wisdom that comes from the higher realm, we are attuned to the guidance, we are able to integrate more of this understanding energy, subtle energies. The message from the archangels today is the 7 of Gabriel. The 7 of Gabriel says, defend what you believe, trust. You have to assert yourself in your position to find your place in the world. So it is very important that we move into this empowerment and to understand that we have our master guide and our guardian angels and our spirit helpers and our pathfinder guides and all kinds of angels and archangels that are working in the invisible world that can help us, assist us, and give us that strength in whatever light or wisdom we are seeking. They will always help us. They will always mirror to us the wisdom. And the last card for the day is from a deck from the past life, and so the trigger of the day is the wish. So we have made certain we've taken oaths, and so it is important to know what is important to us, so to understand that we have soul plan that we want to follow, but we want to deactivate anything that limits us in terms of growth and evolution. So we have to there is a lot of things to be unfolded from that. Let's see what more does it says. It says we have to face our fear, to look into the more we are able to face our fear in relationship to those things that are those fears, what is preventing us from moving forward. So as we face our fear, what we find is finances, is abundance, is money. It's the ability to be free from the limitation of the world, from the limitation of the material world. So there is a lot of virtue in facing the fear right now. I wanted to show a few paintings for those who maybe because I've been painting for a very long time, but I haven't. So I have accumulated a lot of painting, yet I do not have enough wall space to fully enjoy all my paintings. I hope soon I will be able to expand my space into more wall space, so I'll be able to show more. This painting here behind me is a metacosmic painting. It is from 2008. It is symbolic of the great home, the 0 point, the dimension that started it all and included it all, and that makes the eternal source of life. It is an eternal energy of abundance that we have not yet discovered, but we will eventually come to that discovery of that grand portal, the eternal light of soul, the 0 point. I want to show that maybe this painting too is a painting, is a self-portrait. Actually, it's a self-portrait. I don't know if you can. It's called the self-portrait with a bicorn because of the hat. I thought at first originally this painting was a portrait of Napoleon because there is the Republican symbol of blue, white, and red, and then there is the bicorn, the hat. But then many friends told me it's not Napoleon, it's you. So it's like, so I call it self-portrait of the bicorn, and there is this genie that comes out of this lamp, and this is like the star above the head of that person that comes out of the canvas. It is a very very important painting for me. I probably could have a really hard time letting go of that one. This one I wanted to show also is this is like the beginning of a series of interior that started in 2005, and this is about the end of that series. I'm still working on those series, but of the main work is 2008, and this one is called Attraction. It is it's all very Matisse, I'm very much influenced by Henri Matisse and Picasso in my painting. This was actually a painting that was supposed to be a portrait of Henri Matisse. It was a symbol of, I'm doing this series of art masters. But Matisse decided to paint Gauguin, and it looked like Gauguin, and he was the blue of Gauguin, and it's the simplification of Matisse, and so it's still a tribute to Henri Matisse, but it's a portrait of Paul Gauguin. So I changed that. I'm still gonna finish the back, but it's still, because Gauguin, I would have probably not have chosen Gauguin as one of the first people artist I would paint, because he had kind of a negative impact on the islands of Tahiti and the Marquise. He was very violent and he abused a lot of women, and so he didn't really have, but he was still a great painter that immortalized those, and he had some philosophy in his work. Yet in many sense he had this North Node, because I was looking at his astrology doing this painting. He has this North Node in Virgo, so in essence he would have found more happiness within the purification than within the dark side of the Virgo aspect. Those paintings, is like the ones I have behind me. I've already commented on the seventh spiritual family. That's the number 5, and this one is number 1. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It was a whole series, and as the painting, the number grew, the size of the painting grew, and but it's very difficult to do. Sometimes doing small paintings, mostly those scenes. This one is kind of still satisfying, and there is the number 3. This one is the number 3, so it's all they're all an ensemble of what the spiritual connection would be symbolized by, as those 250 different spiritual forms that hold all the main consciousness of what is known as the spiritual universe. I wanted to show also those paintings they look a little bit of Aborigines. They were some of the first concept in 1995 of the grand universe. So this is the early beginning, the first one. So it symbolized the paradise, and then the 21 satellite of paradise, and then the central universe, and then the 7 super universes. But that was the origin. Then it changed, and it became more. In 1995, the vision was expanded to that, because the super universes were a lot more developed, and this is a lot. It's becoming more refined with the years. So this is a 1997 painting, also of the grand universe, paradise, the central universe, and the 7 super universe of time and space. Our universe being part of the 7 super universe. Yeah. And so I would have a really hard time letting go of that painting as well. Originally, when I started painting, I was living in Los Angeles, and my first paintings were my first series was a series of pastel about the I Ching, and I did a series of 64 pastel that, and I'm still working with those pastels. They're really beautiful. I love them. But I was in Santa Fe, and then I returned to Los Angeles, and I had a big loft, and I wanted to recreate in painting what I did with the pastels, but I wasn't ready for figuration. And what happened is that eventually I moved into spiritual text, spirituality, philosophy, the symbology of lettering, and I started writing on my paintings. This is how it all started. So I did a lot of those paintings that. Maybe I can show that this is from 1990. I started in November 1989. At the time, my first painting came out the same week as the Berlin Wall fall. So it was like interesting synchronicity. So this one, maybe I can show you a little bit the detail in the. It says it's in French, but it's a drop of water is very little, but united with a lake, when will it dry? Those are like Zen sort, Zen, and this one. This is a much later painting. It is on board. I think it's 1994. It says, "I will to wills I will." It's got an interesting texture. Maybe put some more light on it. I'm sorry. Maybe. So I don't want to put this too long, so I just wanted to show a few paintings, and and wish you a good day. I hope this day it is a day that I see the Emperor keeps coming up, so we have to stay focused on what is important, to enjoy the new connection, and to move with the flow. I'm going to finish with a little song. It's a very famous song. I want to sing along. It goes like this. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Ooh. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. Ooh, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will leave as one. And so it is, and it is so. And so I thank you very much to be part of this great day, this great unity of spirit. And so let us rejoice together. And looking forward to returning soon. I wish you a good day. Namaste.